As tensions rise in the West Philippine Sea, rumors circulate that the Philippines is secretly training for something big, something unprecedented. Imagine this, a small but determined nation standing toe-to-toe with one of the world's superpowers. The Philippines, long underestimated in military might, is now making some bold moves in the West Philippine Sea. The recent wave of high-intensity military exercises, strategic partnerships with global allies and powerful new defense technologies, these aren't just for show. Behind the scenes, experts speculate that the Philippines may be quietly training for something unprecedented, a surprise move that could shift the power balance against China in ways no one saw coming. Could this be the Philippines' most daring stand yet? Chinese Coast Guard vessels routinely harass Filipino fishing boats. The heart of the conflict lies in overlapping territorial claims. China asserts sovereignty over nearly the entire West Philippine Sea, demarcated by its controversial 9-dash line. This expansive claim encompasses areas within the exclusive economic zones of several Southeast Asian nations, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. The Philippines, bolstered by the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, vehemently rejects China's claims. A pivotal moment in the dispute came in 2016, when the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague ruled in favor of the Philippines. The tribunal invalidated the legal basis for China's 9-dash line, delivering a major blow to Beijing's ambitions. However, China has refused to recognize the ruling, dismissing it as null and void. Chinese fishing fleets, often accompanied by maritime militia vessels, have become more brazen in their operations within the Philippine exclusive economic zone. The situation is a powder keg, and the fuse seems to be getting shorter. Against this backdrop of escalating tensions, the Philippines has embarked on a significant military modernization program. While dwarfed by China's military might, Manila is determined to enhance its ability to defend its maritime claims and deter further aggression. This has led to a noticeable increase in high-level military exercises, often conducted with allies like the United States and Australia. These exercises now frequently simulate scenarios involving the defense of remote islands and the repulsion of maritime incursions. The annual Balikatan exercises between the Philippines and the United States have witnessed a shift in focus, with a greater emphasis on maritime domain awareness, amphibious operations, and coastal defense. Beyond joint exercises, the Philippines has also intensified training for its own armed forces. These developments suggest that the Philippines is exploring a range of options to counter China's growing military presence in the West Philippine Sea. The Philippines' military modernization efforts are not limited to training. The country has also embarked on a significant spending spree, acquiring new weapons systems and upgrading existing ones. A key focus of this modernization drive has been the acquisition of assets that can enhance the Philippines' maritime domain awareness and strike capabilities. This includes patrol vessels, anti-ship missiles, and advanced radar systems. The Philippines recently acquired 2 refurbished Hamilton-class cutters from the United States, significantly boosting its ability to patrol its vast maritime territory. The Philippines has also sought to strengthen its air power, acquiring light combat aircraft and attack helicopters. The message from Manila is clear. The Philippines may be a David facing a Goliath, but it is determined to arm itself with the proverbial sling. Given the vast asymmetry in military capabilities, the Philippines is unlikely to engage in a direct, conventional confrontation with China. Instead, Manila is likely to adopt an asymmetric approach, focusing on strategies that exploit its strengths and China's vulnerabilities. This could involve a combination of diplomatic, economic, and military measures, designed to raise the costs of Chinese aggression and deter further provocations. One potential strategy is the maritime militia approach, already employed by China itself. The Philippines could also leverage its extensive coastline and numerous islands to conduct hit-and-run attacks, using fast attack craft armed with anti-ship missiles. Another key element of the Philippines' strategy is likely to be strengthening alliances and partnerships. By fostering a network of like-minded partners, the Philippines aims to create a more robust deterrent against Chinese aggression in the West Philippine Sea. Any significant military action by the Philippines against China in the West Philippine Sea would undoubtedly elicit a furious response from Beijing. China has repeatedly warned against what it perceives as provocations in the disputed waters and has vowed to defend its core interests at all costs. A preemptive strike by the Philippines, however unlikely, would be met with swift and overwhelming force. Economically, China could leverage its position as the Philippines' largest trading partner to inflict severe damage, potentially cutting off vital imports or imposing crippling sanctions. The international community's response would be complex and multifaceted. The United States, bound by its treaty obligations, would face immense pressure to intervene militarily, risking a direct confrontation with China. The situation would present the international community with a stark choice: to stand with the Philippines and risk a major confrontation with China, or to prioritize stability and accommodate China's assertiveness. The question remains, is the Philippines truly preparing for a major stand against China, or are its actions primarily aimed at enhancing its defensive capabilities? The Philippines' military modernization program, while significant, is not geared towards offensive operations against a major power like China. Its acquisitions and training focus on maritime domain awareness, coastal defense, and the ability to deny China easy control of the West Philippine Sea. This suggests a defensive posture aimed at making any Chinese aggression costly and complicated. Therefore, while the Philippines is undoubtedly enhancing its military capabilities, its actions appear primarily driven by a desire to deter Chinese aggression and defend its sovereign rights. The United States plays a pivotal role in this geopolitical chess match. As the Philippines' former colonial power and its only treaty ally, the US has a vested interest in maintaining peace and stability in the West Philippine Sea. Washington views China's growing assertiveness as a direct challenge to its own regional hegemony. The US has increased its military presence, conducting freedom of navigation operations. It has also provided the Philippines with military aid and joint exercises. However, the US faces a delicate balancing act. It seeks to deter Chinese aggression without provoking a direct military confrontation. The situation in the West Philippine Sea remains volatile and unpredictable. The risk of miscalculation and unintended escalation is high, with the potential for a seemingly minor incident to spiral into a major conflict. All parties involved are playing a dangerous game, with the stakes rising with each passing day. China, driven by a potent mix of nationalism, historical grievances, and strategic ambitions, appears determined to assert its dominance over the West Philippine Sea. The Philippines, facing an existential threat to its sovereignty and territorial integrity, is caught between a rock and a hard place. It cannot afford to back down in the face of Chinese pressure, but it also cannot match China's military might. The United States, seeking to maintain its regional leadership and contain China's rise, faces difficult choices. Navigating the treacherous waters of the West Philippine Sea requires a delicate blend of diplomacy, deterrence, and strategic patience. The Philippines must continue to strengthen its military capabilities, but it must also avoid any actions that could be perceived as provocative by China. Diplomacy and dialogue remain crucial. The Philippines should continue to engage with China, seeking to manage differences and identify areas of cooperation. Strengthening alliances and partnerships is equally important. The Philippines should deepen its security ties with the United States, Japan, Australia, and other like-minded nations. By pursuing a multi-pronged strategy that combines diplomacy, deterrence, and strategic partnerships, the Philippines can navigate the turbulent waters of the West Philippine Sea and secure a peaceful and prosperous future for its people.